sinabihan niya na, oh, may gentleman's agreement, Chinese yung salita tapos tayo Filipino and English, so we could not understand each other. Just want to make, just want to put things in the right direction. That's why I want to know, maybe yung presidente rin natin is a Mandarin spoken president, di ba? Kaya gusto kong malaman po, because this is part of the investigation that we want to know. Now, thank you, ma'am, for that answer. I would like to ask to know our former secretary, executive secretary. Yes, sir.
Mr. Chairman, I was present in these two state visits, bilateral meeting between President Duterte and President Xi. There is an interpreter. So the exchange dialogue, English si President Duterte, itatranslate naman ng Chinese, and then the President Xi will speak in Chinese, itatranslate. So, but there was always the Philippine embassy official there, or DFA, that are taking notes. So I am sure that there are transcripts of those conversations at the DFA.
Okay, maybe we could ask Mr. Chair, the indulgence of DFA to produce that note, no? Whatever language they've spoken there, and whatever are the, whatever terms they have used during the said visit in China. Mr. Chair, just one more question to our former Executive Secretary. How would you consider Ayungin Shoal and Scarborough Shoal? That belongs to the Philippines or not, sir? As a lawyer, yeah, in Scarborough.
Ayungin Shoals, we have sovereign rights over the shoals. Sovereign rights.
Only sovereign rights, sir?
Yes.
Why? Why, Mr. Chair?
By virtue of the decision sa UNCLOS, sovereign rights lang tayo. So,
okay. Thank you for that very good answer. At least we get the sovereign rights. Now, do you still remember, Mr. Chair, I think way back 2017 or early 17, there's one merchant marine vessel, crude oil tanker, passing by Ayungin Shoal. Well, Ayungin Shoal is, I think, no less than 200 nautical miles from the exclusive economic zone, diba, of our country. So there's one merchant vessel under the command of Captain Manolo Ebora. Nung dumaan dyan, pinagtatabuyan siya ng mga Chekwa, ng mga Inchik. So that time, that captain, that very set captain, is stand on the ground and said that with the sovereign rights, this is a part of the Philippines. So dadaan kami dito and we can safely pass here. Ang totoo lang po, during his passage on that shoal, makikita mo fishing boats ang nakatalata sa AIS. What is AIS? The Automatic Identification System on board vessel. Fishing boat ang nakalagay. But unfortunately, it is not a fishing boat. Yung it's a fishing boat, but they are referring to themselves as a Chinese Coast Guard during the said passage at pinagtatabuyan yung safety passage ng barko. So nakadaan na sila, and that captain stand on the ground. I will not leave this area because this belongs to the Philippines. Ang masakit doon that I came to know later on na whatever yung posting niya sa Facebook na pinadidilid daw ng DOTR that time. That is why I would like to ask this question. Ba't pinapadilid ng DOTR and lahat ng mga sinasabi niya doon parang pinaparitract sa kanya. So, Mr. Chair, I think I would like this question directly to our former Executive Secretary if he is aware of, he knows about this matter.
I do not know anything about that matter, sir. But when you say sovereign rights, we have a sovereign right over that, in the same manner that other countries have sovereign rights over the area.
fully understand, Mr. Chair.
Yes, and that's the reason why we're saying that Sierra Madre is a symbol of our sovereign rights over the area, because we were the first one to establish a place, a
Okay.
position in that area.
Yeah, I think
Our rights are better than other claimants who would come in.
well understood. I think on the next executive session, maybe we can also invite the former DOTR secretary so that we can ask him also question pertaining to that alleged na pinapadelete nila yung post ng kapitan ng barko, to the extent na tinawagan siya at pinapadelete lang ng documents niya pertaining dun sa posted niya sa Facebook nung dumaan siya dyan sa shoal. So we just want to clarify, being a Filipino, being a former master mariner, kapitan din po ako ng barko, I would like to know what is my right is. Kasi hindi natin alam. So that we could inform also other merchant marine officers cruising in that area. No, wag na kayong dumaan dyan because it's no longer, di ba? It's no longer safe na pinagtatabuyan kayo because that is the shortest route going to Taiwan, going to China as well, coming from Singapore. That's why I believe most of the merchant marine vessel is coming and passing through that area, Mr. Chair. So thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Honorable Olaso. Yes, sir.
Mr. Chairman, with due respect to all our members, can we go back to the right track that the committee was called for a joint hearing? Simple lang naman ang issue. The reason why we are gathered jointly as a committee is by virtue of the House resolution filed by sino ba to? Kong Hoon. And may I read for the records, a resolution to call on a thorough investigation in aid of legislation on the reported gentleman's agreement between the former President Rodrigo R. Duterte and Chinese President Xi Jinping. And then, by virtue of the privileged speech of our member, Congressman Ramon Rodrigo Gutierrez, on the alleged gentleman's agreement, again, between the former President Rodrigo Duterte and President Xi Jinping. So can we confine our discussion on, and the reason why the resource speakers were called upon to testify so that we will not be sidetracked on other issues?
Mr. Chair,
Honorable Acop is recognized.
while
Yes, sir.
I agree with the chairman of the Special Committee on the West Philippine Sea, if I read the privilege speech of the Honorable Gutierrez, there was one name that was mentioned there, and he's not present today. And therefore, it is incumbent upon us that we invite such person so that we can ask him the question. Mr. Chair.
Yes, thank you, Honorable Acop. Just for your information, the Joint Committee has already sent an invitation to the former presidential spokesperson, but unfortunately he is out of the country and he will be back by last week of this month. And he is willing and ready to attend also, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. This representation will adhere to the protocol cited by the chairman of the Special Committee on West Philippine Sea.
Nandito si ano? Nandito si...
Yes, thank you. The Chair recognizes the presence of Honorable Dan Fernandez of the Lone District of Santa Rosa City. Now we will proceed with our interpellators. Honorable Franz Castro, you may proceed.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Magandang umaga po sa ating lahat. Salamat po sa pagdalo ng ating mga former top officials ng Duterte administration. Tanong ko lang po, Mr. Chairs, si General Lorenzana, si Attorney Medaldea, at saka si General Esperon, were you present po doon sa October 16 to 21 meeting with China? October 18 to 21, 2016 po.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, I was there. In fact, we were there during the bilateral.
Oh,
Wala po ako, ma'am.
thank you, sir.
Ma'am, may I just request our other resource person in the person of the former National Security Advisor, General Hermogenes Esperon, to first take his oath. Comsec, please.
Yes, sir. Do you swear to tell the truth and nothing but the truth in this joint inquiry? Thank you. Please.
Thank you, General Esperon. You may proceed, Madam Castro.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Ay, si General Esperon po. Andun po kayo noong...
Yes, Mr. Chair, chairpersons, I was with the delegation that went to China. There is indeed a need for legislation insofar as the West Philippines is concerned, if only in terms of allocating budgets for the defense and for taking care of our sovereignty and sovereign rights in the area. And so I came here to contribute what I think would be important in taking care of a very important area to the Philippines, including the Philippine rice. I was, of course, the National Security Advisor, and in that capacity, I was the chairman of the National Task Force for the West Philippine Sea. I was a member of the cluster, Defense and Security Cluster, and so I hope this representation would be of help as a resource person here. Some say that I would be an interrogatee here. I told them, no, I'm not. I'm a resource person, and I'm honored to be a resource person here. Thank you so much, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you very much, sir, former National Security Advisor. You may now proceed, Ma'am Castro.
Okay, so if I may continue, Mr. Chair. So, kay General Lorenzana po, during the October 18 to 21, kasama po kayo no dun sa delegation. So, Mr. Chair, kasama din po ba si General Lorenzana sa one-on-one meeting with former President Duterte and President Xi Jinping?
Mr. Chairman, hindi ako kasama sa one-on-one. I understand at pag one-on-one silang dalawa lang plus one interpreter. But I was there during the bilateral with several cabinet secretaries, and on the other side, also the Chinese side. So marami kami doon. I think we are 5 in our side, and there are also 5 there on the other side. So
Okay, thank you po. In that occasion, Mr. Chair, meron bang napag-usapan about yung gentleman's agreement o secret deal or whatever? So wala kayo narinig. Okay.
Wala kami narinig.
Kay General Esperon, Mr. Chair. So nandun kayo, Mr. Chair, General Esperon na Mr. Chair. So, meron bang occasion po na nakasama kayo
As I said,
doon sa...
I was there, Mr. Chairman. But I'm not really sure what gentleman's agreement we are talking about here unless we hear the report of the source of the report itself. Because when we had the bilaterals on October 19, on the 18th we traveled from Brunei to China. So the bilaterals was on the 19th.
Okay.
So I did not hear anything about an agreement except an open discussion of what the President wanted to tell the Chinese side, which is mostly on the just promulgated arbitral ruling. So there was nothing that I heard, but if you want me to relate parts of the bilateral talks, then I can tell you that.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chair. So may I just ask for the yung naging bilateral agreement? Kasi to save time na lang po. In writing, can you do that, General Esperon?
I can in fact give you an interview that I made.
Okay.
and I can email that to the committee
Okay.
on what was taken up, as far as I can recall, as far as I can remember. Because,
Okay.
you know, in that bilaterals, of course, the other side was speaking in Chinese, and our side was speaking in another language, and therefore there was a need for translations every turn. And so there may be a wrong interpretation of mine in hearing what were the translations. But in essence, what the President said was, Mr. President, I want to inform you again and make you aware that we have the arbitral ruling. I have it with me. And then he proceeded on to say that we want to take advantage and explore and exploit what is in our sovereign, what are in our sovereign rights insofar as the EEZ is concerned. And so they went to talk about fishing rights in Bajo de Masinloc, as well as the exploration and exploitation of resources under the sea, the seabed, more specifically on oil or natural gas. What I recall as the response of President Xi Jinping is, if you do that, there will be trouble. And there was discussion, meaning the exploration and exploitation of natural resources in the seabed. After some long discussion, the President said, well, Mr. President, I will not go further right now.
Including the recent developments in the Senate, the House Committee on Ethics, and of course the scheduled House investigation tomorrow by the House Committee on Dangerous Drugs. But before we open the floor for questions, let me introduce our distinguished guest, House Majority Leader and Zamboanga City 2nd District Representative Manuel Jose Manix M. Dalipe, House Committee on Dangerous Drugs Chairman and Surigao del Norte 2nd District Representative Robert Ace Barbers, House Deputy Majority Leader and PBA Party List Representative Margarita Attorney Migs B. Nograles, House Assistant Majority Leader and ako Bicol Party List Representative Raul Gil D. Bungalon, and Assistant Majority Leader and Manila 1st District Representative Ernesto Ernix M. Dionisio Jr. Before we begin, let us allow our distinguished guests to deliver their short opening remarks. Madjo Manix, you may proceed.
Okay, good morning everyone. We are in our last 2 session days before we go on sine die adjournment, and as instructed by the House Speaker Ferdinand Martin G. Romualdez, we will try to finish all those which we scheduled for plenary, especially those on 3rd and hopefully the 2nd reading measures